How the Brain is Wired. In a way, the old adage, "the more you own, the more it owns you," describes the impact of digital devices on people today. Given the amount of time and attention our devices pull from us, you might say our devices own us. Walking around town, you'll notice many people's eyes glued to some kind of screen. Modern society is now so dependent on technology and digital devices that it cannot escape the complications and challenges that come with their impact on the brain and relationships. As a family counselor, I know that when young people come to my office, it's because the adults in their lives, moms, dads, teachers, guardians, are concerned about them. They might be worried about the young person's schoolwork or how they're behaving at home or in public. But behavior is really only a symptom of a real issue. So to understand what's happening, other areas must be considered, including their family and home experience and their relationships within and outside the family. Even genetics can play a part here. The real problem is not the troublesome behavior, but something within the bigger picture of their lives that may be fueling that behavior. One source that fuels problematic behaviors among kids today is the many messages and temptations that arise from technology use and the consumption of entertainment. All too often, these influences lead young people down harmful and destructive paths. Sometimes kids are savvy enough to recognize the power that media and technology have over them, and they may even initiate change themselves. I'll never forget the time my son came to me and said, "Dad, can you put limits on my Nintendo DS?" He explained that it was taking up too much of his time, and he had even noticed some changes in how he was acting toward us. It was exciting for my wife and me to see our son learning to manage his internal world, but his desire for control over his tech use didn't appear out of a vacuum. As parents, we had been very intentional in talking with our kids about the powerful impacts of digital devices on their brains. We had also given our son many limits, and he had earned more freedoms as he'd gained our trust. Like many kids, he abused that trust at times, such as sneaking his DS into the bathroom and spending hours on the toilet playing video games. He was also dishonest with us about the amount of time he was spending on it. But I think he was in a good position to recognize the dangerous hooks underneath the entertaining bait because we had put limits on his DS use and explained why they were important. We didn't simply lock down his device and announce, "because I say so." Because he understood the why behind our actions, he also understood that he wasn't hurting us when he violated the limits on his DS. He was hurting himself. Even though he was disobeying us and disregarding the rules we had put in place, they still meant something to him.